Okay, so I'm gonna try to do kind of a video showing how I create uh, my music and kind of trying to share some of the tips and tricks that I made. Um, this specific line was something that was recommended to me as part of it, and the rest is something that I built out to try to add on to it and try to make sure I'm getting things that I'm wanting. And I also tend to use that track profile for my style prompt. Um, um, so it's kind of helping me get those meta tags that Keybox was saying or I've been getting really good at last night, as well as getting my style prompt at the same time. So if that's, I mean, sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it needs further tweaking. And so, um, beyond that, usually I use ChatGPT to write my lyrics. I'm not particularly good at it, and I know what my ideas are. Uh, and the themes and topics that I'm wanting to talk about out are in my head. I just struggle with figuring out a way to put them into lyrics, if that makes sense. Usually I'll go, right, don't, yeah. Usually I go, six, The reason why I add that last part, alright, is because for whatever reason, GPT likes making things long. Long. Usually, if I'm wanting to do a certain style, uh, or a certain genre, I'll plug that in. And so that way it knows, hey, this is the kind of genre we're wanting to look for. In this case, we'll go ahead and run it. It's going to think. And a lot of times I like having thinking up here, but that's more of a paid thing. And ChatGPT is the only one that I'm paying for. It's doing modern hard rock, metalcore, probably because it's more used to that being the style that I'm doing, or that I tend to do. And here you can tell what it's thinking. And yeah, it's going with modern hard rock, melodic metalcore because that's what I've done before. So it's more figured out a style that I try to do. 46 lines per section. And again, more than are more likely in modern rock or metalcore, because again, that's more what I've done. I try to keep it under 4 minutes, around 95 to 100 beats per minute. Then 95 to 100 beats per minute can affect the pacing uh, and different styles of music are just done at different or work at different beats per minute. To ensure art concise and complete, there should be emotion and symbolism. Perhaps use Forge, Notebook, Trial, Flame, Tools, etc. Performance details on top. Create the title. Hit set learn. And now, this, where it's entering time information, usually I don't really mess with that too much. This is something that we'll deal with at usually I'll go through and read it. Again, there's timestamps. Sometimes it'll post it throughout. Other times it won't. Like this time it did it at the beginning and the end. And I find it has a habit of not really following that. So we're going to take this. We're going to copy it. And we're actually going to pull up Notepad. There we go. Okay. So we're going to throw it into Notepad. And reason being is I want that character count down there. It is currently at 2,264 characters, so we are well within character limits, being as this either does nothing or does nothing to help. We're going to get rid of that. Now, up here, because those are not actual lyrics, we want those to be the closed square brackets there and here. Because if it is in parentheses, say, if it's here, I throw in parentheses, it'll repeat Spark or more as that kind of whisper right after it. And that's more something that those parentheses do. Oh, whereas the closed brackets, that's telling it, hey, there's something else here. These are not lyrics, but this is something that it is wanting me to try to, or it's wanting to try to do. Now, that required very minimal. And I'm half concerned as to how long this is going to end up being, but we're not being super serious about this. This is more example. And now we're going to come over here. Those are our lyrics. I'm going to throw it into there. Come back over here. We're going to take our title, Hands That Learn. Copy that, throw it into here. And for our story, we're going to take all of that and throw that into there. Now, we're going to also tell it these are the genres we're wanting it to follow. So that way, that helps Gemini figure out what it's wanting to do. And I'm sorry, I've not been recording that. Hold on. Why is it not capturing that? There we go. Okay. So in story, and we posted that it's modern rock or hard rock melodic metalcore. We took everything that we entered in to get ChatGPT to generate the lyrics, put in our title, put in our lyrics. Now we're going to go ahead and make sure that this is on extended and send it. It's going to sit there and do some thinking. Unfortunately, it won't show you thinking. Here's our track profile. And here's our lyrics with metatags. So where it's trying to do the atmosphere, or the instrumentation, the pacing, the vocal style of that particular section where instrumentation will change. And one thing that we'll do is we'll come in here, grab this, go back over to Notepad, and we'll replace all these lyrics with that. Just to double check, make sure it is still within character limitations, which it is. At its 4,173 characters, we're only allowed to do up to 5,000. And that is enter spacing, angs, any special characters, as all that counts. Now, coming back over to Chrome, we're going to ignore that target runtime. It does not help. It does not do anything to help. It doesn't. And so we're just going to ignore that. We're going to take all of this, the words genre, modern hard rock, melodic metalcore, post-hardcore, tempo. This is actually saying 142 beats per minute. And time signature 4/4. Most everything is 4/4. And Suno doesn't really like messing with odd time signatures. Which tuning it's wanting to do with a C minor and a drop C. Atmosphere, what kind of instrumentation it's wanting to do, vocal style. So I copy that, come over here. Got it. Paste that over here. Good. We are well within our 1,000-character limit for our style. We're going to also come back, grab all these lyrics. Reason why I don't use that is because then it'll copy everything, and we don't want that. As it is, we are already looking at potentially hitting that 5,000 character limit if we did that. So we're going to ignore that, paste that here, and you'll notice it's grayed that out. Again, it's doing something weird. Come over here. Everything grayed out is not lyrics that it's actually going to do. So it's actually changed that again since yesterday, or since the other day when I was working on it, working on the last song. Then we're going to take that title, because that's the title we want. Throw that down into here. Now, because I am interested in the potential of how this might sound as a duet, I'm going to leave this off. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to. If you're wanting to do just pure instrumentals, you just want to hear the sound, gonna go with instrumentals. Prompt is you're telling it what you want it to do, or what you're wanting the lyrics to be like. I never use it. You're welcome to try. I've heard that it tends to create really long songs. So we're gonna go ahead and run create. And let that load. The longer, I've noticed the longer it takes to load, the longer it tends to make the song. Now again, remember, we told this is supposed to be within 4 minutes. I find its time estimates are always a bit off. So there are things that we can try to do to adjust for that. One of the things I'll do is when going over it, sometimes the pre-choruses will be the same. So this time they are different, but at that point, it's also how much does that second pre-chorus matter to the story and structure of the song? If it doesn't, cut it. Get rid of it. And it is perfectly fine going from the second verse straight into the bridge and then final chorus and just eliminating that, especially if it's ending up super long. So that's one of the ways that I have to try to cut down time. Usually that sometimes it'll save a solid minute or more, but again, that kind of depends. Sometimes Suno just wants to be an ass and do its own thing. Usually this is where I'll go in. I'll go check other things, go look, let it kind of just do its thing. Oh, holy crap. Okay, yeah, no, that's done. See how 455 and 529. Sorry, I got a little distracted. And I will explain that a bit later. Alright, but let me. Da, da, da. This is when I usually throw my headphones on. My headphones take a lot. These are known for being very power hungry. That's why I tend to have the volume cranked up a little bit. And beyond the fact that A, the sound of which Suno tends to record tends to make it sound very a lot or very quiet, but at the same time, it makes it sound like the levels are pushed to peaking. And so it's kind of weird. Usually when it's pushed to peaking, it sounds super freaking loud. Um, whereas it's doing a weird thing where it's not letting it do that. But usually then I'll come in, I'll hit play, and I will go over the lyrics as it's playing to see how it's doing and how well it followed along with the lyrics. If it is mispronouncing anything, usually a good way of dealing with mispronunciations is to come in here and change the way it's spelt and do it more in a phonetic way. And, like live and live are both spelled the same way. I cannot tell you how many times it's messed that particular word up. It is not good with picking up context to determine that. But yeah, that's kind of how I go and make my music. I'll go through if I'm finding I'm hitting really good on options the first time around, I'll go ahead and do one more gen to figure out is it something I want. If it's not, I'll go ahead and see if I'll probably do one more gen and then see how things go from there and then make adjustments. But yeah, that's how I do my music.